to 6 new countries per year right now. We knew that we could innovate and launch new products in new categories that were going to have an impact and do it in a way that was scientifically innovative, that was unique, like we did in the Neon acquisition. We knew that we could stage our plans in a more secure fashion where we could do things behind the scenes that we wouldn't have to publicly release because as part of our Wall Street, being on Wall Street, our affiliations there, we had to release every little piece of detail that was required by us, and that was a lot of non-value-added stuff that we had to do. We knew that we could speed up our innovation. We knew we could speed up our new countries. We knew we could speed up our product launches. We knew we could provide greater incentives to our field, like the pools that we just launched this year. We knew that we could innovate in areas like our challenge groups program. And all of that stuff, all of those things that we've done so far that I'm telling you about, we've already done. Imagine the things that we are about to do that we have yet to tell anybody. If you only knew the things that we were about to do that we haven't told anybody about yet. Well, let's just say this, just to give you the best example. We at Visalis are playing chess, and a lot of our competition's playing checkers.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's probably the best way that I can describe the game plan we're operating under right now. The next junction is our NST in Fort Lauderdale, where we plan to drop our hat in the ring in a major way, and it's going to be fun. And then from there, we have our Vitality. Obviously, we'll have a number of regionals that will occur between then and Vitality, much of which many of you will build your teams from. I'm sure some of which will be in your own backyards all around here based on the strength that I see here in this room. But I share that with you because that equity you have an opportunity to earn, I believe will one day be your family's most valuable asset. I know it is my family's most valuable asset. Otherwise, I wouldn't have tendered a significant portion of my wealth to reacquire this company alongside Nick and Blake. And otherwise, I wouldn't have been able to offer that asset to your families had I not been able to do that. So I believe your family's greatest asset will be the same piece of paper that's my family's greatest asset. And that's equity. And my hope is some of you in the room here take action to get to that goal of achieving equity like nothing can stop you. Some people, last weekend I had Tony Run and a few others to my house in my home, and one other person was taking a tour of it, and they were saying, oh, this is so beautiful, and I just said, do you know how many milkshakes we've had to sell to build a house like this? Right? I told some of the guests, I said, this is the home Visalis built. I didn't buy that, I didn't build this home. I want you guys to be able to have that same dream home, or that same dream vacation, or the dream of being able to provide the education for your family, however they need it, or the ability to be able to provide the health that your family needs, because we all know healthcare is not cheap these days, or the ability to be able to give to a philanthropic cause that inspires you, as I give to causes for children that face the adversity of autism and families in support, or as I give to at-risk youth-related causes. So whether you want to give your money away, whether you want to invest in the health of your family or the education of your family, I believe that that is your right. Now, unfortunately, in America, they do not teach you guys the subject of entrepreneurship. It's not taught in school. It's not taught around the dinner table for those of us who didn't have entrepreneurial parents. All we learn is, what, go to school, get a good job, work 40 hours a week, and then maybe one day you'll be retired. How many of you realize that that dream is it's a lie, it's a fallacy? That's not how it works. The people who sold you that dream are entrepreneurs. They're the guys running the banks, they're the guys running the universities. They're the people running the corporations that most of you work for and give the better part of your waking lives so that someone else can pay for their family's health. Somebody else can pay for their family's vacation. Somebody else can drive a nice car. Somebody else can send their kid to Harvard, right? Believe me, I came from an employee-minded family. My dad was an employee, my mom's an employee. No one ever thought about the subject of entrepreneurship in my family. So my mission is to teach that subject to you so that you can teach your families. I want you to have equity. I want you to be driving a brand new BMW. I want you to have that dream vacation and build that dream home. So that way you become a beacon of light to everyone in your family who's ever known you. And you become a beacon of hope. So for those of you, you should be on a mission to be as successful as you possibly can be, because you're able to do more with that success than anyone can possibly imagine. So the reason why we're so goal-oriented and we're so focused as a company is because people listen to you when you become successful. People want to know what your secret is, because in our society, people are dying right now to try to find out how to become successful. And you will know exactly how to do that by hitting National Director and above, and by becoming a proud owner of this company alongside of myself and the leadership of this company. Will you take I'm going to close on this. I have the simplest way for you guys to be successful. I told you guys why you should be successful, why you should take on the challenge of getting equity in your family, what it should mean to you, what it means to me. Hopefully I've given you guys the vision that our company will indeed be a multi-billion-dollar company. I'm 37 years old. Someone the other day asked me, what's my plan for the next 5 years? I said, well, over the next 5 years, I plan to get to about the age of 43. And then from there, I plan to spend the next 43 years building by Salas, or forever long, God willing, I'll be on this planet to do so. So we're not short-term focused. We will be there. And equity is forever. You earn it this month, you own it forever. So we're not short-term. But you want to know the very simple secret to success. Very simple secret. In fact, I think this is the simplest thing in the world. To be successful, all you have to do is restrain from something that's not successful. So for example, if having a bad thought or being negative is not a successful mindset, you have to restrain from having negative thoughts or bad thoughts, right? Right. Or for example, if certain bad actions are bad for your desire to be success, like, let's say that, you happen to always forget to set the alarm clock, and so therefore you're missing meetings and appointments, right? That's probably not a very successful action. All you have to do is restrain from that action and set your alarm clock, or restrain from something else that's preventing you from setting that alarm clock. So restraint is the same thing as investing. Restraint is restraining from saying, today I don't want to work on my business. I'm going to take the day off I deserve it. Restraint is saying to yourself, you know what, I am going to make the time to go to NST, and I'm going to restrain from all the other excuses that come up into my head that will prevent me from doing that. Restraint is, I don't eat the whole pizza like I used to when I was 260. I eat one piece, or maybe two. But then the next morning, I'm in the gym making up for it, which is restraining from not going to the gym, right? My point is this: restraint from the things that make you unsuccessful will ultimately make you successful. So you have to put together a list here of all the things you're committed to not doing, so that way you will cross the stage and become an equity holder and be at our National Success Training in Fort Lauderdale, and proudly pick the certificate up and be able to say that you started building the equity value of your family. There's a long list of things that only you know, I don't know it, that you're going to have to stop from doing and resist doing, so that way you can make room in your lives and in your hearts to do the things that are necessary for your family to have whatever legacy that you give it, that you earn for it. So write the list together of what you're not going to do. Because I can give you a list all day long, and you're going to get one of the things that you can do. You got to write down all the things you can do and you will do. You're going to do groups. You're going to do challenge parties. You're going to call everybody on your list. You're going to post on Facebook. You get a long list of the things that you're supposed to do that you know you can do. But if you don't make room for all those things in your life by saying, I'm going to restrain from doing this, from doing that, and so forth. And it might be something that you temporarily restrain from, called temporary restraining order. Like, I'm going to temporarily restrain from going out 4 nights a week, getting drunk, and not being productive the next day, right? That's simple. Or I'm going to temporarily restrain from, every weekend going and barbecuing with the family, because, you know what? I need to invest in my new family, the new group of people I've brought into my house. Or you might say, you know what? I'm going to restrain from this or restrain from that. Whatever it is, you have to have a list of things that you're going to restrain from. There are actions, some actions you're going to restrain from, some thoughts. Those are the toughest ones. Some thoughts you're going to have to restrain from, the ones that say you can't, the ones that say, oh, it's not going to work for me, or I'll just do it tomorrow, or, I'll just make the next event. Those are the thoughts. Those are the hardest level of restraint. Restraining from your thoughts. You got to restrain from your thoughts. You got to restrain from your actions. And the one that I have the hardest time with, restraining from words. Because sometimes I want to tell a person how I really feel. Believe me. And sometimes that's not what's best for them or what's best for me. So you got to restrain from something. Actions, thoughts, words. What is the list of things that you're going to restrain from so that way you can make room in your life to be a proud equity holder, to have a brand new black BMW, to be able to take whatever vacation. What is it that you're going to walk away from today that you're committed to not doing so that you can make room in your life to do something that you'll never forget and that you'll be able to look back to the person next to you and say, I was in the room. Thank you guys very much. God bless you.